Okay. Okay, so today I'm going to talk a little bit about broken soundtracks. This is something that I was introduced to by John Acuff. I don't know if you guys caught him on the last Plexus Book Club. He's actually been on book club twice now. So in my mind, that means that Plexus feels that his information that he has to share is really good for us. I've been able to apply it in so many parts of my business that I can't even imagine. And I just was introduced to him, a couple months ago. So I will drop you guys some other resources in the chat at the end, and then on the post, so that way you guys can look into other resources he has. Because this is just not one thing that he does. He's got so much good information. But the one he talked about recently was broken soundtracks. And basically, our soundtracks are the thoughts that we repeat in our head about whatever situation that we're in, whether it's life situations or for a lot of us right now, business situations. And, great thoughts. We always hope we have great thoughts because they lead to great action and they lead to great results. However, a lot of the thoughts that we have are broken. They're not positive. They're not productive. Okay. And so the goal here is to retire those broken soundtracks and replace them with new ones. So one thing that I struggle with a lot, and you might too, is overthinking. That is my big key broken soundtrack right now. Because I overthink, I hesitate to post about the products. I hesitate to post about the business, and I'll hesitate to post about sharing or reaching out to share with others that I know could use the products and the business. So my big soundtrack I'm working on right now is overthinking. It is the sneakiest form of fear. That is the big thing I took away from John on overthinking was it is fear sneaking into just the small parts of my business. And it has stolen my time, creativity, and productivity. And that's one thing he says that, businesses spend a lot of time on and we lose all because of overthinking. Okay, so keep that in mind. So it's the sneakiest form of fear that steals your time, creativity, and productivity. I don't know if you can relate to that, but I sure can. So one thing I am doing with this is I'm retiring that soundtrack. Okay, that's the first step. Retire that soundtrack. Put it to bed. Not going to say that anymore. I am not going to overthink. Now, it's not just as easy as that, but it's replacing with a new one. Okay, how are we going to replace it? What are we going to replace it with? And then repeat that new one. Okay. So here's my example, and I'm going to have you guys, I'm challenging you guys to do this either right now or later in the day. But I want you to pick something that you desire in your business. Okay, whether it's ranking to a new rank, okay, building your team, whatever your desire is. Maybe you want to earn that emerald trip. Okay, write it down. And I want you to spend a few minutes thinking and listening to the thoughts that come up from that sentence. Okay, so mine I used, and I did last night again, was I want to rank Ruby. That is a big desire of mine right now. And I'll be really honest, and I know you guys are supportive in this, but these are the thoughts that came into my head. I'm too busy with all of my other businesses. Okay, I have 4 businesses, by the way, that I'm have my hand in. So my first thought is I'm too busy to be Ruby because I have all of these other businesses to handle. Okay. My second one, no one is commenting on my posts and no one is interested. Okay. And my third one is, well, I'm not like her over there, so I can't do it. Okay. That imposter syndrome has popped into my mind. Okay. Now, the thing that John recommends and really encourages is there's 3 questions. Ask, is it true? I can go through all of those and say none of them are true. Okay. I have time for this business. Okay. Even though somebody's not watching or commenting on my posts, that doesn't mean they're not listening. Okay. They just might be seeing it scrolling through and they might be moving on, but they're like, oh, I need to go back. And maybe they don't, or maybe they're afraid to comment. Okay. Or post. Okay. And then the other one, I have value for myself that I offer. Okay. So I'm not like her. That's okay that I'm not like her. Okay. We're all individuals in this business. And that's what we need to remember because we have value to offer others. So the second question is it helpful? Okay, none of those are helpful. Let's be real. None of those are helpful to my business. And then the third one, is it kind? This one really hits me because I'm like, if I am telling this to myself, this is not something I would tell you guys. 100% cheerleader and supporter. Don, you can do this. You can hit that goal. Reagan, you can hit your goal, whatever it is. Okay. So why would I tell myself any differently? But that's just what we do. That's what our thoughts do. They go to the negative. Okay. So then I rewrote my soundtracks, okay, to re-rank Ruby. My first one is, instead of too busy, I'm going to plan out my actions to utilize my time, okay, to complete my IPA. See how that changes the thought a little bit? It's not like I don't have the time. It's I'm going to plan my time better. My second one is, people are listening and watching. It's just not their time yet. Okay. And I've learned this with my team. One of my level ones, Ashley, some of you guys know her. She just added a new ambassador that she's been talking to for 2 years. 2 years. And it hasn't been the right time until this last week, which she hasn't given up talking to her. You know, she's still done her reach outs and she's still posted and kept moving on. But for this one person, it took 2 years. And we all know someone who's taken a little bit longer. It's not in our time. Okay. It's in our customer and our ambassador's time. So when they're ready, they will reach out and they will be, they'll reach out to find like the products that they need. So it's not about us. It's all about them. And then I have my own value to share, and I will build trust with those that I share with based on that value. So that's something that I know I've worked with Melissa. I've worked through a lot of some Kristen Boss trainings, and this too, this soundtrack with that value has been really prominent in my mind the last few months. So just kind of to recap that. So you want to find that broken soundtrack, okay, whatever it is. And you might have many, and there could be several, and you want to retire it, replace it with something new, and repeat, repeat, repeat. Okay. Is that soundtrack, is that true? Is it helpful? And is it kind? Okay. If you hit all of those, then you're going to be on your way to retiring those soundtracks. Now, one thing he did say, and this is something I think we forget, is we tend to, okay, we went through that soundtrack. Yes, great. Oh, that did not work. Okay. Am I still going to retire that soundtrack right away? Not necessarily. I'm going to give it another go. Okay. And his instance, especially because he was talking with our business with Plexus, was maybe I did everything right. Okay. I talked to them, I shared my story, I shared the products, and they said no. Okay. I did everything in the way I wanted to do it in the right steps, and they still said no. Am I going to change that and be like, oh, that doesn't work? No, I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to repeat it and repeat it till it gets better. Maybe I need to tweak something. Maybe I jumped the gun and said too much too soon. Maybe I wasn't listening to them in the conversation. So the next time I'm going to do a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. Do you guys see kind of how that works? Okay. This is so simple in my head to like, I'm like, wow, mind blown. Like, how is something so simple, could be so life-changing for us as well. Another thing, he talked about is actually a question that someone in our Plexus family asked was, how do you remember your new soundtrack? And I was like, that's a good question, because if you're writing these new soundtracks, how do you keep up with them? And he basically said, you make it simple, you make it personal, and you make it visible. So for him, he has like a $50 coin he carries around that is tied to one of his soundtracks. Okay. So finding something simple, personal, and like tangible, like even if it's a rock or maybe it's a sticky note that you see every day, but something that reminds you of that soundtrack every day. So there's so much more I could go in on this, but I do want to touch on some other things today. I do recommend you guys check him out, check his books out. He has some great ones. The first one I actually was introduced to was Finisher. And it's how to finish things. And 3 pages in, I was like, yep, that's me. Okay, I could relate. And it's really helped me to process things that I start and how I finish them. He also has a perfection challenge starting on Facebook today. So if you guys struggle with perfection, which I think a lot of us do in some point. I know I do with my posts. I always want them to be perfect. Okay, and so I'm following this week to work on that aspect of my business, because I think he's got some good pointers on how to overcome perfection as well. So we will keep moving on. Like I said, I could talk about this all day if you let me, because I think it's great stuff. I've also learned a lot of great stuff from Kristen Boss the last few months. So it was really hard to kind of pick and choose. But I wanted to give you guys another resource because I think he's very relatable. And like I said, if Plexus picked him twice for book club, they like him too. So let's keep going. I want you guys, since it is Monday, let's write down 3 things you are grateful for. Okay. And then I'm going to let you guys shout out, take turns if you guys want to share one. I would love to hear one of your 3 things that you are grateful for this week on this Monday. Okay, does anybody have one they'd like to share? I'm going to go ahead and just pop out here and tell you guys, I'm actually super thankful that Melissa asked me to lead today. I'll be honest, it's one of my very first motivation mindset days and 9:30 calls to get on just with our schedule. But it pushed me outside of my box to sit down and really look through some of the stuff I've been working on the last few months. So thank you, Melissa, for recognizing that I have the ability to lead our team in mindsets and some hopefully other topics in the future. So anybody else?
I'll do a quick shout out.
Okay.
I am just incredibly grateful for our leaders, for you. Every time I don't think I think I might have missed one of these since we started. And I am here to encourage you and to support you and to let you know I believe in you. But then I get so motivated and inspired and encouraged by you sitting in this space as well. And so that was my first thought whenever she said that was, what are you grateful for? And I'm like, I'm grateful for these faces right here that are showing up, that are being deliberate, that are being intentional, and that are getting inspiration from whatever we're doing each day. So thank you very much.
Anybody? Dawn, do you want to share?
Yes, I'm going to try and be quiet because it's so early here in Washington. But I know I shared it in the beginning a little bit, and I don't want to get choked up. But I am grateful for having the flexibility that I can be here and have time with my parents. There's a lot of mending that's going on, so that's really good. And I'm grateful that I'm disciplined to get up in Washington time to still do what I need to do. And 4:30 was a little bit hard for me to start my day, but I'm just proud of myself for doing that. And I'm like, you know what? It might have been a little bit hard, but I'm proving to myself that I can do those hard things. And why not try again to get up at 4:30 on another day? So that was probably more than one, but thank you.
Reagan, do you want to go ahead and share one?
Sure. This isn't, I guess, Plexus related, but my son turned 16 today, and it's a whole new level of freedom for me. I'm not his taxi driver anymore, but we just made it in and out of the DMV in 45 minutes. So that's really cool.
Wow.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, 16 years of being a mom.
That's pretty awesome. Awesome. Well, happy birthday to him today. So, hey, Julie, do you want to share? I know you're driving, so I don't want to distract you if you're not. So, okay, that's totally fine. And if there's anybody else that wants to share, you can just drop it in the chat and I will share for you if you guys can't get on. Let's go ahead. I want some goals for you guys to work through. Writing down today, what's your point goal for this month? Okay, where are you at with today's points? I don't know about you guys, but this new comp plan has my points all over, and for the better. I just can't keep track of how it's working just yet. So write down those points today. And how many add or reorders do you need to bridge the gap for this month? Okay, so if you guys can pull up your back office, if not, just take some notes on this. So that way, when you do get a chance to do that, I want you to go ahead and go through where you're at points wise, what your goal is for the month, and then figure out the difference. How many do you need to add or reorder to hit that goal for this month, okay? And then a couple other things. Have you guys checked your credit card declines yet? Perks reports. I just had someone, and actually I don't know, I think it goes today, is about to lose $140 in points. Whew, or 1,400 points, which is crazy. So I'm working with them to try and get that saved, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know. We'll see. So make sure you are checking those perk points daily. Okay. And then other things, have you checked in with your business builders? Okay. And I know this will come into play a little bit later when I announce the events, but having your 20 to 30 list of engagement ready. Okay. So if you can pull all of that up and take a look at that, let's work on that. Okay. While we're gonna be doing some reach outs, okay, follow-ups just for a couple minutes before I come back. But before I do that, I want you to drop in the chat, if you can, what is your goal for your business today? Okay, before we go to our quick 5-minute, because we're getting close to time. I want to be respectful of everybody's 30 minutes. And we've got some events that we want to share with you. Okay, so we'll take a few minutes, take a look at those few things. Okay, write down your goal for your business today, drop it in the chat. Okay, and then we'll come back in a couple minutes. Okay. Yes, thank you, Melissa, for sharing. Inviting your friends to our events this week, following up with anybody that needs to reorder, okay, and see if we can add some product. Oh, it's okay, Julie. You're thankful for extra funds to allow your daughter to go to space camp this week. Oh, that is so much fun, space camp. My husband talks about going to space camp. I'm like, hopefully that our kids have that interest and want to do that too in the future. So I'll be excited to hear about her experience. You guys, I'm loving all of your goals this week. Very good. Laura, are you getting back on schedule? Yes, our schedule too has been out of whack with school being out. So getting organized for definitely is important this last couple weeks of the month. Okay, goals for Julie. Following up with all your level ones. Yes, I love that. I need to do exact same thing. You guys are like writing out all my goals for me today. This is awesome. Because I know we've had a lot of my level ones too, go in a lot of different directions with school being out. So we have to regroup and reset for the rest of the month. Reagan, I love your goal of inviting people to new events and new reach outs. That's awesome. Same thing, Dawn, doing all of your follow-ups with those that have just started their products. Super, super important to follow up with them as they're starting their journey. So I did throw the name of that challenge in the chat if you guys want to do that with John Acuff. It's free. He just gets on an hour a day on Facebook, and then you can watch it on replay if you'd like. So I know Melissa wants to talk a little bit about one of our events we have this week. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of talk to you real fast on them. Tuesday, we have a mega call for the business opportunity. And Melissa tells me this hasn't been announced yet. So I'm really excited to hear more about this. And then Thursday, we have Real Stories at 8. So when you guys are doing your reach outs today, make sure you're inviting those new reaches to those events. And then if they were on previous calls, like last week, having them invite their friends. Okay, so start encouraging, even though they might not be signed up, ready to go on the products, but have them reach out to their friends. Okay, we love to have them have their accountability partners. Okay, and come in together on this. So Melissa, would you like to take over and tell us a little bit more about this surprise mega call that we've got coming up?
I would love to. And I love co-partnering with you. You're so fun. Is she excellent? I'm proud of her. So tomorrow night, how many of you guys were on Wednesday night's business call, income and impact call? It was incredible. We are actually doing another one tomorrow night. It is a mega call because you have 4 diamonds that will be on this call. So it's tomorrow night. I think it's at 7 o'clock, but now that I'm saying that, I don't know. So I need to look at the graphic. As soon as we hang up, or not hang up, get off, it's being posted on Passionate Pursuits page. Guys, this is the deal. And this is what I want you to hear. Alita Langford will be on. Many of y'all know her. She's kind of the poster child of Plexus. She's having a baby in about a week and a half. She's on the freaking call tonight, and she's doing natural childbirth. So she's going through a lot of breathing right now. Julia Carty is another diamond. She is moving tomorrow. The moving van comes tomorrow, and she is on tomorrow night. Abby Warren will be on, and I will be on. Why do I share that? Because to do this business, you have to make the decision to do this business. And that means everything else has to get out of the way, and this has to be your priority to do this business. To hear 2 diamonds, y'all won't hear that tomorrow night, to know that 2 diamonds that are in really pinnacle points and seasons of their lives, of moving states and having baby number 8. It's actually, I think, baby number 5 for her, but she will have a family of 8 children. And knowing that they're making this a priority, and they do not have to. As a diamond, you do not have to make it a priority. They do it because they love their team. They love the vision of this company and these products. They believe in what is being done with these products for people and their futures and this income. And I'm very passionate. Can you hear me? Because I've been talking to them all weekend and know the obstacles that they have. And they could easily say, guys, I gotta be out. I cannot even tell you how easy it would be for them to say it, because it's legit for them to say it. And they're going to be there tomorrow night. So I'm asking you and everyone who listens to this recording, and I'll go live later today, to make the greatest effort that you can ever be on that call. With 4 diamond teams, I want our team to have the most people with the most guests. We are the baby of the 4 diamonds, and I want to show them that we are the giant. So I'm asking you to do everything possible to be there. and to be fully supported and have people. Y'all saw what happened last week, right? You're doing your follow-ups with all of those people, and hopefully they're joining. If you were on and had guests, you have already heard from me this morning. And so we're going to do it again tomorrow night. We're going to have a really, really big month this month. And then of course, Thursday is the real stories. It's such an excellent one. So this is what I want you to hear as you think about your 20 to 30 people. You have a business opportunity and you have a product health opportunity. Put the people in the right buckets. So you've got prospects, ambassadors, and customers that business might be their next step. And you need to get them into that business call. You definitely need every one of your business builders on the call because it will build their belief. So put on your business hat. That's who goes in there. Your real stories health call are your prospects that are really looking at product, your customers that you're wanting to increase product. Maybe they're doing one or two things and you're really trying to get them into becoming a believer. And your ambassadors that are still, they're taking it, but they're not believers of what can happen, or they're having die off right now. They're going through obstacles. They're not consistent. Get them on the call, because it will make them a believer. This is what you always need to understand. These events are here to make your world easier. We put in the sweat and the effort to get them ready to make your business successful. So please use the events that you're given. They take time to do them, but they are there to build your belief and to get you and your business into momentum so that you can grow in the way that you desire. And then last but not least, I hope that you were on with Julie Friday. If you weren't on with Julie and you listened to her recording, she talked about the prayer of Jabez. I know I'm praying it with her. That's one thing that she talked about. And so I would love to see all of us praying this month of the Lord enlarging our territory, strengthening our belief and believing that we will cause no pain, nor will we have no pain, right? So say goodbye and bury the pains of our past to move forward in a beautiful legacy that we have the privilege to create. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, thank you so much, Melissa. And that takes us right about time. So real fast, if anybody wants to shout out a win from this last week, go ahead and unmute yourself and go ahead and shout it out. If not, we will wrap up. Anybody? Dawn, do you have one? No? I was going to say my only win is that I got through my training classes and I survived the last 2 weeks of basically like 17-hour days. So I'm super excited to be able to refocus back on my business. This is what happens every summer. Yeah, and I did it with a better mindset than I have in past years. So I've powered through. So if anybody else, Ashley, do you want to share a win?
I had a girl that joined us on the call last week, and she really talked about how she loves the community, and she can tell how everyone is so passionate about not just the business, but the products and what they can do for people. And she actually ordered last Friday. She started with the slim for right now, but she was like, I want to see how that does. And then she plans to order, like become an ambassador. So I'm excited for her. She's got diabetes, so I can't wait.
Very good. Very good. Anybody else? Okay. Yes. Well, I know you guys all had wins to share, but that's okay. We will go ahead and wrap up. Thank you again, Melissa, for letting me step out of my box today and help lead today's call. And I don't know if you want to go ahead and stop recording it and we will wrap up. So I hope you guys all have a great day. We'll see you later.